two women from wildly different backgrounds and places in the world have been brought together by their talent, determination, and passion.
One, go into the room and do not apologize for who you are. Two, you're enough. And three, anything is possible. Everything is possible.
Together, they have worked hard to become the brightest stars of their generation. Ariana Grande and Cynthia Ariana may have first crossed paths in Oz, but their similarities prove they were always destined to meet. And together, they have the whole world under their spell.
Ari does something magical with Glinda, and she allows us to see her true, unshielded heart.
Cynthia can do absolutely anything with her voice, anything.
Ari, what a joy it is to call you my collaborator, and I'm very proud to call you my friend.
I'm so grateful and proud and in awe of you every single day. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart. And also, you're welcome. I truly think you would have murdered anyone else.
You might be right.
Ariana Grande Butera was born in Boca Raton, Florida, on June 26, 1993. She began singing from a young age, getting the opportunity to sing the national anthem at a Florida Hockey League game, televised on Fox Sports Net. As a child, she performed with the Fort Lauderdale Children's Theater, landing her first role as the title character in Annie. This experience led her to perform in musicals such as The Wizard of Oz and Beauty and the Beast. In 2008, she appeared on Broadway in the musical 13. Cynthia Ariana was born over 4,000 miles away in London, England in 1987. With a Nigerian heritage, her upbringing was rich in culture. Like Ariana, Cynthia's love for performance blossomed early, leading her to the prestigious Royal Academy of Dramatic Art. She graduated from RADA with a bachelor's degree in acting in 2010. Initially, she struggled to fit in at the school. Her unflappable confidence made her both intimidating and unrelatable to her classmates. She was one of only 4 people of color in her year, and she found her teachers pushed her toward the stereotypical role of the strong Black woman. But Cynthia learned from her acting coach, Dee Cannon, that she found her magic when she instead looked to her vulnerability. In a performance in Look Homeward, Angel, Cynthia revealed her sensitivity, leading to stronger connections with her peers both on and off the stage. Almost immediately after leaving RADA, her professional career began to blossom. Meanwhile, in 2009, a young Ariana was cast in the popular Nickelodeon show Victorious.
Are you a good witch or a sandwich?
Oh, me? Well, I'm neither a witch nor a snack. You're talking some crazy chiz.
She portrayed the adorably dim-witted character, Cat Valentine, which required her to dye her hair bright red every other week for the role. The show's first episode premiered to 5.7 million viewers, marking it as an instant success.
I was a singer way before I ever did any sort of acting whatsoever at all. So it's actually different for me because mostly you hear of actors like trying to be singers and then, but I actually was a singer way before any of this. But this is actually my first time acting on TV, so it's really fun for me, and I'm glad that I get to explore something new. And I actually love acting now just as much as I love music.
Within just a few months, Ariana became a teen idol, establishing herself as the most popular breakout star after the show's main character, played by Victoria Justice. Victorious transformed Ariana's career, quickly making her a household name. After a successful run, the show's final episode aired in 2013, allowing Ariana to shift her focus to her other passion, singing. While still acting on Nickelodeon, Ariana recorded her debut album, Yours Truly, over a span of 3 years. It was released on August 30th, 2013. 19 minutes after its release, the album reached #1 in over 30 countries, making it her first #1 selling album. This achievement also made her the first female singer to have her debut album debut at *1.
Very grateful for my fans and everything. It's like a blessing. I think I just have to constantly remind myself how lucky I am to do what I love and sort of keep my family close and my friends.
Ariana released her much-anticipated second album, My Everything, a year later in August 2014. This album became her second consecutive #1 album on the Billboard charts, demonstrating her dedicated fan base. While Ariana was experiencing success across the pond, Cynthia's career had begun with small productions such as Marine Parade, which debuted at the Brighton Festival. Her first musical role was in I Was Looking at the Ceiling and Then I Saw the Sky. She later toured the UK as Sister Mary Clarence in the stage musical Sister Act. In 2011, she made her West End debut in the production of The Umbrellas of Cherbourg. But her big break came in 2013, when she landed the role of Celie Harris in the Menier Chocolate Factory production of The Color Purple. Adapted from the Pulitzer Prize-winning bestseller, The Color Purple tells Celie's story as she navigates life in the Deep South. The stripped-down, minimalist production quickly became the talk of the town, with Cynthia's performance standing out as exceptional.
She's like Judi Dench, she's 5'0" pretty much. This little kid walks out, and then she sings. And then you want to know who she is. And I've seen her do that on 2 or 3 occasions, and every time the audience are not left the same. She changes the atmosphere in the room when she sings.
In 2014, she also starred in I Can't Sing, the X Factor musical, written by Harry Hill.
The character of Shanice is one that catches their eye.
She's the every girl. I feel like she has loads of hopes and aspirations that she wants to get through. Though they might be slightly exaggerated in this, it's still something that's quite truthful to each girl, each human being, really.
The show opened at the London Palladium, but its run was cut short due to mixed reviews and low ticket sales. Fortunately for Cynthia, her show-stopping performance in The Color Purple would lead her to debut on Broadway in 2015 as the production moved to the US. The production received rave reviews, and the critical consensus was unanimous. Cynthia Ariana was simply remarkable as Celie. Her performance of I'm Here stood out as a clear display of her exceptional talent.
I'm beautiful. Yes, I'm beautiful. And I'm here.
Cynthia perfectly communicated the story, showing Celie transforming from downtrodden to triumphant. Her voice, powerful and raw, carried the emotional weight of the character, while her delivery remained relaxed and effortless. Erivo would later say that I'm Here was the hardest song she's ever sung. Yet, every evening, she delivered it with such ease that it seemed effortless. The song would prompt spontaneous standing ovations midway through the show. Her performance won numerous accolades, including the Tony for Best Leading Actress in a Musical.
I didn't know it was really possible to do that when you've only been on stage the first time.
you're making your Broadway debut, and that for me was a massive dream anyway. So to have this off the back of that is just astounding. The audience in London was a lot different than I was used to anyway when we were there. They reacted loudly, they were up on their feet when they wanted to be, which for a London audience is very different because usually it's quite reserved and, you know, they're polite and they want to clap at the end, and that's kind of cool for some things, and sometimes you need more interaction. So when they did interact there, it was great. Here feels like a rock concert. This is like tenfold what it was before.
She also shared a Grammy for Best Musical Theater Album. Her performance of the title song on NBC's Today Show earned her an Emmy. At just 30 years old, she was already 3/4 of the way to EGOT status.
For women who want to be in this field or who are creating, who haven't started, who want to go to school, who want to learn, be acquainted with yourself. Learn about yourself first, be comfortable with yourself first, be happy with that, know that it's enough, know that that will carry you through to the next place you need to be in. And that is the thing that will get you through most of the troubles that you might come across. I think once you're sort of secure in you, everything else can take its place by itself.
After 33 previews and 449 regular performances at Broadway's Bernard B. Jacobs Theatre, The Color Purple closed in 2017. Its highly successful run established Cynthia as a star to watch in musical theatre, both in the UK and the US. The success of The Color Purple and her Tony win would open new doors for Cynthia. It provided the springboard for Cynthia to transition from stage to screen, allowing her to reach a broader audience and be seen as a multi-talented performer. Her beautiful voice was being heard more and more.
God's been so good to me. He's been so good to me. More than this whole world could ever be. He's been so good to me. He dried my tears away. Turn my midnight into day. So I say thank you, Lord.
Ariana similarly continued to expand her artistic expression through her music and had earned herself a fierce fan base. Albums like 2016's Dangerous Woman solidified her pop superstar status. As many child stars fade away, Ariana proved that she had the drive to open new doors for herself, building an extremely successful music career and touring the world. However, Ariana's talents were not confined to music alone. She continued to make her mark acting. Over the years, she appeared in projects like Scream Queens and the film Don't Look Up. She also performed in Hairspray Live, a nod to her theatrical roots and a chance to show off her versatility as a performer.
Tell you that without a doubt, I get my best dancing lessons from you. You're the one who taught me how to twist and shout, because you shout non-stop and you're so twisted too.
Ariana's journey mirrored Cynthia's, as both women worked tirelessly to expand their worlds beyond what they were initially known for. To break out of the musical theater bubble, Cynthia Erivo had to work hard. She began her television career in 2015 with a role in the British comedy Chewing Gum, created by and starring her longtime friend Michaela Cole.
I heard that you backslid and fell into pregnancy. And then into prostitution. Are you aware that you have a demonic spirit?
Are you aware that on Thursdays your mum sucks my dick?
The series follows Cole as Tracy Gordon, a religious virgin shop assistant who embarks on a journey of personal and sexual discovery. Cynthia plays her friend Magdalene, showcasing her versatility and adeptness in comic timing. Next, she had a small role in the crime drama The Tunnel and a performance in Mr. Selfridge, where she showcased her vocal talents by playing a nightclub singer.
Breakfast at the radio. Harlem's really jumping after dusk.
play it for me now, boy.
In addition to her TV roles, Cynthia started to secure significant film appearances, the first being in the noir thriller Bad Times at the El Royale. She would continue to perform at events and award shows, showing off her powerful voice.
And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be, oh, let it be.
Her subsequent roles came from directors who were impressed by her performance as Celie in The Color Purple. Legendary British director Steve McQueen was so taken with her portrayal that he set up a meeting and cast her in his new project just 3 weeks later. In Widows, Cynthia played Belle, the widow of an armed robber, joining Hollywood heavyweights like Viola Davis in this thriller. In 2018, Cynthia continued to win prestigious awards for her work in film.
Well, I'm a Brit, you know, I'm from London, and to be recognised by my peers, it feels really great, and to be even on this list with wonderful people, and Tisha is a friend of mine, it's just kind of wonderful to be a part of it. It means a lot, it really does. It means that we're finally sort of paying attention to making sure that there's more visibility for people who look like me, for young girls that look like me. There's 2 women of colour on that list, which is so rare, and it's kind of special to have that happen, and I hope it continues. And it means a lot to be a part of that kind of list, because I feel like it's part of something that will move something forward and change something a little bit.
Similarly, Cynthia caught the attention of director Seth Mann during a performance of The Color Purple. Mann was directing a biopic about Harriet Tubman and was struck by the physical similarities between Cynthia and a young Harriet, noting that they were roughly the same height and shared a similar muscularity. After watching the show, Mann was determined to have Cynthia play Harriet and cast her immediately without an audition. The film, which later switched directors to Kasi Lemmons, was released in 2019.
When I met Cynthia, I was already deeply involved in the research. And so I had a very clear picture of this tiny, powerful woman, you know, with these high cheekbones and this amazing singing voice. And then I met Cynthia, and she's this tiny, powerful woman, and she, I mean, really perfect. She's a triathlon, you know, she's like a marathoner. She's itty-bitty and very strong and very beautiful spirit and very forceful spirit. As a matter of fact, people say about her that you don't notice that she's small.
I put quite a bit of pressure on myself because I knew that there was a responsibility to tell the story fully and well, and I never want to do things by halves, and so I put the pressure on myself to make sure that I did it well and did the work that was needed to do in order to tell the story as fully as I could. So whether that be physical work or spiritual preparation, all of that was necessary to do it. I just had never seen a woman like that before. I'd never seen a woman that looked like me that did that. That changed the face of history, and I think it's always stuck with me. I remember that distinctly.
It chronicled the life of the iconic abolitionist, and Cynthia's performance was both fierce and emotional.
Lord, I need you to watch over my sister and her children until I can bring them to freedom. Protect the Lord. Don't let them hurt her worse.
Cynthia also performed and co-wrote the lead single, Stand Up.
Performing for me is part of my life. I love it, and I get to sing my own songs. The first time I get to do something like that, I co-wrote it, so it feels like I'm able to like share my baby, and knowing that Courtney B. Vance is here and all of those people that I really admire, it's a special thing to be a part of. And as an actor, it's definitely an important important part of the journey, I think, to always share it with other actors. Yeah.
Speaking about Harriet, Erivo said, "Hopefully the film will serve as a reminder that if we don't do the work we're supposed to do, we're going to go backwards. Too much work has been done in the past. If we're complacent about that, we're only going to endanger ourselves." Her portrayal of Harriet Tubman earned her an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress, a milestone that marked her transition from Broadway darling to a rising star in Hollywood.
Yes, Cynthia. First Oscars, 2 nominations.
Yeah. It's crazy and amazing, and I'm like just floating through it, seeing how it goes. Yeah, it's amazing.
And you're performing as well?
Yes, I am. Yeah, dream come true. It's before all of the nominations, before wanting that, I wanted to perform on stage. It's what I do. It's what singing is my language. And so to be able to give that tonight is more than a dream come true.
And in terms of like the rehearsals, has that sort of taken some of the pressure off the nomination?
A little bit, yeah. Because now I'm basically looking to perform. That's my thing, my focus tonight. Yeah. Thank you.
Cynthia had first conquered the stage with The Color Purple, and now with Harriet, she proved she could just as easily command the screen.
I said to a friend of mine, like, if I wrote down the things that have happened in the last year or two, it would sound like I was a crazy person. It would sound like I was making a lot of that stuff up. And I think that still goes to today. It just all feels very surreal, but it's all very amazing. Yeah.
The following year, Cynthia would take on another African-American icon, portraying the legendary Aretha Franklin in the anthology season Genius.
She's one of the women who really is the epitome of resilience and determination, and her artistry knows no bounds. And I learned a lot about how to navigate through the music industry and navigate through music and how to decide what you want and be steadfast in it. She was an incredible, incredible woman and did not have it easy, but she still kept going. So it's wonderful to be able to be celebrated because of her, because it kind of feels like it's in part for her. She took no prisoners and wasn't afraid to ask, wasn't afraid to ask for what she deserved. When she finally decided to ask for a producer's credit on her album Amazing Grace, it was a big moment for her, and I think it shifted the way in which the music industry saw women in their music, because often we were just the artists and only the artists and couldn't really have any autonomy, but she changed that, I think. She helped to further us forward.
Cynthia Ariana portrayed the Blue Fairy in Disney's 2022 live-action adaptation of Pinocchio, directed by Robert Zemeckis. In this role, she performed a rendition of When You Wish Upon a Star.
I grew up not seeing myself in things like this and not seeing us in fantasy and playing fairies and whatnot. Now there are I was coming in, there are brown girls who are dressed up as fairies, who are dressed up as the Blue Fairy, and it's wonderful, it's thrilling to see that people are included now. Because it's not excluding anyone, it's now saying, hey, this is a wider space and we can all be a part of it, which is lovely.
Although the film received mixed reviews, Erivo's performance was noted as a highlight.
Can you believe this is your life now and you've done so well? I don't know if I believe it's my life yet. I think every day there's something that makes me want to pinch myself. So it's kind of wonderful to sort of be living in the middle of a dream. It's kind of what it feels like, yeah.
Despite both of their found successes, the road to the top hasn't been easy for either Cynthia or Ariana. Ariana Grande has faced several traumatic events and setbacks throughout her life. Despite being groomed for a superstar lifestyle, her journey has been marked by moments of profound heartbreak. On May 22, 2017, during a concert at the Manchester Arena on her Dangerous Woman World Tour, a suicide bomber detonated an explosive device in the foyer, killing 22 people and injuring more than 1,000.
Thanks for coming, everybody. After our darkest of nights, Manchester is today waking up to the most difficult of dawns. It is hard to believe what has happened here in the last few hours and to put into words the shock, anger, and hurt that we feel today. These were children, young people and their families that those responsible chose to terrorise and kill. This was an evil act. Our first thoughts are with the families of those killed and injured, and we will do whatever we can to support them. We are grieving today, but we are strong. Today, it will be business as usual as far as possible in our great city. I want to thank the hundreds of police, fire and ambulance staff who worked through the night in the most difficult circumstances imaginable. We have had messages of support from cities around the country and across the world, and we thank them for that. But lastly, I want to thank the people of Manchester. Even in the minutes after the attack, they opened their doors to strangers and drove them away from danger. They gave the best possible immediate response to those who seek to divide us. And it will be that spirit of Manchester that will prevail and hold us together.
Ariana was physically unharmed, but the tragedy left her deeply traumatized, and she later revealed that she was suffering from PTSD as a result of the incident.
The arena was scarily still for 5 or 6 seconds, which felt like a lot longer, and then everybody just ran everywhere.
It was a bottleneck trying to get out from where we were because so many people were running from the other side of the arena. They were losing shoes, they were dropping phones. So we just wanted to get out of there as quickly as possible. But coming down the stairs, people were falling over, people were tumbling. We got down onto the ground level and people were just running everywhere. It was total chaos. We just wanted to get away from everybody else because we were at that point thinking, well, maybe, it's somebody running around shooting people. A lot of these, the people that were at the concert were small children and teenagers, like my daughter, and these were Christmas presents for the majority of people. What should have been a happy occasion has ended like this. It's just tragic.
Despite her personal anguish, Ariana was determined to support the victims and their families. Just 13 days after the attack, she returned to Manchester to headline the One Love Manchester benefit concert, which raised approximately $23 million for the victims.
Were you surprised that she agreed to come back to Manchester so quick?
Yeah. I thought it would have took more time, but I'm happy that she's okay.
Additionally, she visited survivors in the hospital, offering personal comfort and support.
Ariana sat on that hospital bed. She told Lily she was proud of her. And she says Ariana's visit has really helped the victims focus on the kindness of people rather than the hate.
In 2018, Ariana experienced another devastating loss when her ex-boyfriend, rapper Mac Miller, passed away from an accidental drug overdose. The cumulative weight of these events could have led her to retreat from the public eye entirely. However, Ariana demonstrated remarkable resilience, transforming her heartbreak into a source of healing and inspiration. She continued to release critically acclaimed and commercially successful albums, including Sweetener and Thank You Next, both of which were lauded for their emotional depth and maturity. Beyond her music, Ariana became an advocate for mental health awareness and supported various social causes, using her platform to make a positive impact both financially and through her influence. Like Ariana Grande, Cynthia Ariana has channeled her personal experiences and identity into activism, using her platform for change and to inspire others.
For so long, I lived in deep admiration of anyone who could fully embody their true, authentic self, wear their queerness like a feather boa, and proudly state, "This is a beautiful part of who I am." I used to say that it felt like I was looking at my own community from inside a glass box. There you all were, vibrant and beautiful and falling in love, and I had my nose pressed up against the glass looking out at all of you, separate and apart. It took time for me to outgrow my box. But time is a gift that gives us space to see ourselves clearly enough to know that denying a part of oneself is a disservice to the whole. But now, the glass is shattered. And there is no box in sight. And I have walked out into the wide open spaces, into the arms of you all, and it feels like home.
As a Black, queer woman in the entertainment industry, Cynthia has had to stand her ground to achieve success and respect.
Claiming my queerness in public, and particularly in the public eye, has meant taking a risk in order to claim my freedom. And although I have had the greatest privilege of playing some of the most indomitable women, Harriet, Aretha, and sweet Divine Seeley, I found that hiding just a little part of myself meant I wasn't leaving enough room for these women to thrive easily. You see, when we can pour all of ourselves into something or someone, it's like serving the most nutritious meal. You cultivate an atmosphere that allows work to live, not just exist. I wanted to live, not just exist.
Her portrayals of historical figures intertwines with her personal work, with various charities and organizations. She has created a synergy between her personal experiences and her public image and roles she takes on in order to foster social change.
What's the secret to getting to where you are as a woman, do you think?
I think the secret is probably to be okay with who you are as a person. I think it starts from there. Learning about yourself, being confident in everything that you are, and then letting that speak for itself. Yeah. And doing the work, obviously.
Do you have lots of girls coming up to you and asking you for advice, or perhaps slipping into the DMs? Or?
I do. It's usually like younger people who are just sort of coming into their own, and they're in school or they're on set with me, and I love it. Because part of the joy of doing this is being able to make space for other young women and speaking to them about what we're experiencing and what they can expect and how they can change things for themselves too.
In 2024, Cynthia and Ariana's paths would finally cross. Starring in the musical blockbuster, Wicked. Wicked is a highly successful musical inspired by Gregory Maguire's novel, Wicked: The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West. The book and musical serve as an unofficial prequel to the events of The Wizard of Oz, presenting an alternative perspective on the origins of the Wicked Witch of the West. The film adaptation of the iconic stage musical had been in production for years and moved through several different directors. When John M. Chu was appointed, he had originally envisioned the roles of Glinda and Elphaba being played by unknown actors. However, as the lengthy audition progressed, the opportunity to bring two powerhouses together was too perfect to pass up. Huge names auditioned for Elphaba, including Lady Gaga, and stars like Amanda Seyfried were in the works for the role of Glinda the Good Witch. But when Ariana and Cynthia came in separately to audition, the pieces begun to fall into place.
What was it like the moment when you knew that they were the girls? You went, we've got it, we've done it, it's actually going to happen, and we've found them, because it's a tall order to find two people that can play those roles.
It's very much. I was worried for a long time, waiting for someone to really take it. But I remember when we decided it was going to be Ari and Cynthia having a big toast, because we knew you don't make the movie if you don't find two people who are supposed to make the movie right now, who are our Elphaba and Glinda for this moment, for this movie. And I knew I could feel it because every word was different when they said it. Even though it was Glinda, even though it was Elphaba, even though it was the same songs, they said something through it that shook me to my core that I know the world needed to see. So I ran around the house for sure.
In her audition, Cynthia performed powerful renditions of The Wizard and I and Defying Gravity. While Ariana performed Popular and For Good, each brought something new and exciting to the iconic characters, while demonstrating their deep respect for the history of the roles.
Wicked has such a loyal fan base, yourself included. Does that put a little bit more extra pressure on your shoulders when you're taking part in a project like this?
You know, I think it's not exactly pressure, but it's just sort of emotional fuel to keep the fans in our hearts every step of the way. You know, we were those fans, and we tried our very best to honor this the way we felt that it really deserved. And you know, it's been a part of our hearts every step of the way, and we've just kept them in mind with us, those fans, because we are those fans.
I think there's like a little small piece of responsibility that we feel like we want to take care of it just as much as the fans want to take care of it. So,
Not pressure, responsibility. Yeah.
Once it was decided they would be cast, Cynthia and Ariana sung together for the first time and realized how good their voices sounded together.
And what's grown through that is the knowledge that both of our voices work very well together. We didn't realize until we sang once together at our director's house, John Chu. He had our music, the composer of the music called Stephen Schwartz playing piano, and we sang the song for Good together. It was the first time we'd sung together. We'd never heard our voices together, and somehow this worked. And when you get to do something like that, it means that there is a real understanding of how the other person works and hears and thinks. To sing with another person is a very intimate thing, which for us, I think, also opened up our relationship even more. It really expanded the trust that we had with each other, because it meant that both of us were listening properly and hearing what the other could give. Yeah, it was very special.
Their friendship blossomed during the production, which translated to a remarkable on-screen chemistry.
We made a pact at the beginning of this experience to take care of each other and to have each other's backs, but I don't think people realize just how truly we mean that. From big things like going beat by beat through our contracts together, making sure the other was being taken care of however they needed, like smaller ones like bringing each other berries and cashews every day on set, making sure that all of our favorite snacks were nearby on long days.
Collaboration is more than the work you do on the screen. It's all the moments before and after that truly allow for the safest space to create, so that hopefully by the end, when all the work is done, you leave not just with a finished product that you're proud of, but with a friend that makes you proud. Ari, it's been my complete honor to not just share the screen with you, but to learn with you and to learn you. What a joy it is to call you my collaborator. And I'm very proud to call you my friend.
Me too. I'm so grateful and proud and in awe of you every single day. And to have collaborated with you in this way was the honor of my life. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart. And also, you're welcome. I truly think you would have murdered anyone else.
You might be right.
When their casting was announced, both performers faced scrutiny. A small but vocal group labeled Cynthia's casting as a woke hire, while others doubted whether Ariana's pop background was enough for the musical theater role. However, when the movie was released in 2024, the pair's performances silenced their naysayers. Ariana Grande stunned as Glinda, showing off her comic timing and versatile voice, while Cynthia performed Elphaba with emotional depth, soaring through songs like Defying Gravity.
Together we'll be the greatest team there's ever been. Glinda, dreams the way we planned them. If we work in tandem, there's no fight we cannot win. Just you and I, defying gravity. With you and I, defying.
Both felt a deep connection to their characters. Ariana had been a fan of the stage musical since she was a child, and it had always been her dream to play Glinda. Cynthia similarly found herself relating to Elphaba's sense of being an outsider, using the character as a platform to discuss her own experiences with queerness.
I can say I know a thing or two about being the other. Elphaba's story is the cautionary tale of what it can sometimes mean to have to stand in your individuality, your otherness, even when systems of oppression are set against you. It is the story of how a colorful, powerful, magical woman, despite being disparaged, demonized, and discriminated against, becomes a hero. Wicked is the reclamation and the reimagining of all the labels that are used against her. It is the proclamation of her right to exist in all of her power. If that sounds familiar to you, colorful, magical people in this room, it should.
Cynthia also was able to influence the styling of Elphaba. Known for her bold fashion choices, she incorporated elements like micro braids and custom nail designs into the character's look. Ariana would also feel inspired by Glinda's style, incorporating nods to the character's wardrobe throughout the press run. Fans adored Cynthia and Ariana's playful interactions throughout the press tour, which lead to many viral and entertaining moments.
I didn't know that was happening.
I've seen it, yeah.
That's really powerful.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was happening.
The film was highly successful, becoming the highest-grossing film version of a stage production and broke box office records for the biggest opening weekend for a movie musical.
The reason everyone's clapping is because of, obviously, the overwhelming success of Wicked. $400 million in the box office and counting. It's only the second week. Yeah. I've seen Wicked on stage a couple of times. We knew how huge it was in the West End and on Broadway. Did you expect the film to do so well? And was it daunting to take it on?
I don't know that any one of us could have even imagined what is happening right now with this film. I think we all knew that it was really, really special. I was aware of how special it was, and I was a fan at the beginning as well. So to see it translate this way onto film is a real wonderful experience to watch happen, because sometimes the film adaptations don't necessarily work when you take something from stage to screen, but to watch it happen in this way, to watch people really connect with it is really, really special. I'm so excited about it.
I mean, it's so special because not only are Cynthia and I being celebrated for our collaboration, but also John Chu, our brilliant director who's right here, and our film Wicked, our ensemble. It's so exciting to be able to have the work out there in the world and have it be celebrated. It's a beautiful night. I mean, it has been such a surreal adjustment. I mean, I never in my life expected anything like this, and to be able to play Glinda was the dream of my life. So anything else that has happened has just been such an extraordinary cherry on top, and to see the world receive it the way that they have and be so kind and embrace us and our version of this already perfect piece, which is Wicked. It's been really, really more than you could ever dream of. I feel very grateful. It's amazing. Thank goodness we have each other. You know what I mean? And she's been through it a million times. She's the most decorated, celebrated, nominated as she should be. EGOT coming up actress. So I'm so grateful to have her to hold my hand and also celebrate. And it just feels like a lovely way to extend our time with Glinda and Elphaba, and also with each other.
Post-Wicked, it's no question that the pair will remain best friends. Wicked Part 2 for Good has already been filmed and due to release in 2025, which will undoubtedly reignite interest in the duo as Elphaba and Glinda reunite on screen. But what's next for Cynthia and Ariana? Cynthia has expressed interest in playing the Marvel superhero Storm, believing she can add depth and complexity to the character on screen. For Ariana, she has no plans to tour in 2025, but remains deeply appreciative of her fans' love and support. After Wicked, it is expected that Ariana will continue to explore acting more equally alongside her music career. From their different backgrounds, Cynthia and Ariana have continually defied expectations and strived for artistic excellence. Their friendship, a rare and genuine bond in the competitive world of Hollywood, shows their mutual respect and admiration. Even when their Wicked journey ends, we are sure these two extraordinary talents will reunite on the silver screen once again.